Good morning and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's coffee chat with Starboard featuring IBM Communities. Just a few quick housekeeping notes. All audience members will be in listen-only mode, but we welcome and we encourage all of your questions in through the chat window. We'll follow up with a copy of the recorded presentation as well as slides after the event. And now let's begin. Leading today's discussion is Amy Tatum, Vice President of Starboard Consulting. Amy has over 25 years of experience as an engineer and technology consultant and has managed the implementation of countless Maximo projects. And Amy, you'll also be one of the featured presenters for the May 27th coffee chat featuring Maximo Scheduler.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Alex said, my name is Amy Tatum. I've been working with Maximo for over 20 years now and work with Starboard Consulting. And we are a business partner and Maximo implementer. And we have been working in this space for quite a long time, offer a full range of services, integrations, implementations, upgrades, anything like that that has to do with Maximo or any of the complementary tool sets, mobile, GIS, etc. And we are just, partners with IBM and partners with our clients and their success. With me today is Pam Denny, and many of you probably know Pam. Pam is the offering manager for Maximo Mobile. She also has been with Maximo for over 20 years in roles focusing in analytics, metrics, configuration, and mobile. And she's also a certified reliability leader. And prior to her time at IBM, she held a variety of manufacturing, engineering, and operations positions. So Pam, welcome. Thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate that and look forward to chatting with you.
Thank you so much, Amy, for inviting me here today. Thank you.
So before we get started, Alex, I think you were going to run a quick poll and get some feedback from our audience. Could you go ahead and do that?
Yes, thanks, Amy. So we wanted to hear from you a little bit more about what Maximo resources you have most relied on for information, for updates, to ask questions of the community before we get into the discussion. I see LinkedIn groups. I know that's very popular. IBM Communities, Developer Works, Twitter. For those that are putting other, we'd love for you to tell us in the chat box what those other resources are that you find helpful. We'd love to share with our community. Give it just one more minute. Great, nice to see so many people already using the IBM Communities. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll, but you're welcome to still share your answers in the chat box. Thank you. Amy, Pam, back to you.
All right, thanks, Alex. So Pam, you've been around Maximo a long time. I think like me, you started when you were 12 years old too, right?
Exactly.
So for a long time now as a business partner, anytime any of us had a question and we're like, hey, what's going on with that? Where do we go? Your name has always been a great source of information. And we're like, well, call Pam or email Pam. I'm sure she'll have an answer. So, there's been a lot of changes lately, and that's part of what we wanted to talk about today. So nowadays, how can I best find the Maximo information that I'm looking for?
So Amy, great question. So as you said, we've been around Maximo for a long time. Maximo has actually been available for over 30 years. So there's thousands and thousands of documents and tech notes out there, today. But how do you actually find the one that you need? So I always tell people to really think and be as specific as possible, right? Exactly what you're going to need. And because with DevWorks, we used to have that one community, well, the content is migrated to different places, as you can see here on this slide. Some of the content is in the Maximo IoT community. Some has been migrated to Tech Notes, and other content is on our Knowledge Center. So I always recommend be real specific on what you want to find and go to Google and start searching. If you have absolutely no idea where it might be, enter as specific a search. So for example, you don't want to put in just like Maximo report because you'll get so many results.
Yeah.
Are you looking for Maximo report administration, Maximo report development? So the further you refine your query, the more successful you'll be in that first chance of getting the document you need.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So we used to use, as a team, the DevWorks community quite a bit to ask questions, respond to things, kind of review what's going on. Where do we go now?
Yeah, so that's the, you can see some of that information right here on this slide. So to highlight, the DevWorks community migrated to these 3 key places here. First is the Maximo IoT community. So within the Maximo IoT community, you'll find information, the blogs. You'll also find a lot of those documents, best practices, how do I extend, how do I configure. That type of content is on the community. The community is maintained by offering managers, architects, developers, support individuals. We all contribute, and it's very dynamic content.
Okay.
And then you could go to the support tech notes if you were looking specifically for, maybe some information on an APAR, maybe for some information on a particular feature or functionality. You can find those in the tech notes. And then our knowledge center is the overall review of the product features and functions.
Okay. I know with the tech notes and the APARs specifically, sometimes if I find one that's interesting, I'll follow that, and then I can also get automated emails and updates when there's content changes there as well. So that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So
that's a great thing to do, Amy. Like you said, follow it, right? Set up a feed so you're always getting that information sent to you.
Okay. So why did it move? I mean, it was kind of in the same place for such a long time. What drove the move to this new setup?
So IBM continuously evaluates all the different documents, all the different repositories it has. And as IBM was evaluating this particular content, DevWorks, they really looked at to say, hey, is this going to be the best for us in the future as we move forward, our clients, our business partners, internal IBMers. And so after an evaluation, they determined that the communities were more of a user-friendly, more of a site built for growth and innovation. So that's why that content was decided to be migrated.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, thinking ahead is good, even though it's a little painful to change in that much, but
exactly.
It's good. So advantages to the new Maximo community that you've seen so far?
So actually the IoT community that we've migrated our content to is based on the middleware community. So many of you may know the middleware community. We used to have all our Maximo user group information, whether it were local or a regional or a national user group, it was all hosted on the middleware community. So basically we took that middleware community content, moved it over to IoT, but then increased the content, added things like our blogs, our libraries, our discussion forum. Okay. So it's a lot more interactive, and I would say one central place to find all that information.
To find everything. All right. So how do I stay up to date? What do I do to keep current? Are there more changes coming, or do I just, follow what I like, or how do I do that?
So I think this is so important, and it relates to the poll that that you just gave, is you've got to be active on some form of social media, right, to keep up. And that's so important in these days where we don't have the chance to interact with clients face-to-face at different conferences. So whether you're using LinkedIn or Twitter or the IBM community, stay engaged, join one of those, try to spend, just 5 minutes a day keeping up to date with what's happening. And like you said, Amy, sign up for some of those feeds so they automatically come into your emails and you don't necessarily have to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, the feeds are a huge help. I know I get emails almost every day from one or another of them with any new content that's changed. So I know from our experience, we host a couple of the user communities, the Florida and Georgia ones in particular, and unfortunately with the current situation, all of our spring workshops had to be canceled. So I know there's a lot more virtual events. That was kind of the reason our coffee chats got formed. We started those as just a way to engage with the community. So are you seeing a lot of virtual events happening now, and what's the best way to stay up to speed on what those are?
Yeah, so we definitely are seeing a lot of different virtual events, like yours, this casual coffee chat, which is so interactive and dynamic. It's really exciting. We see the more formal, events like the Maximo event that was held earlier today. We're also seeing just like little podcasts and simple webinars, just, simple, easy ways for people to get connected and stay up to date on the latest information. But I can't emphasize enough that, you have to find one source of social media, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's the Maximo community. Just keep engaged, find out what's going on, and that's really the best way.
Okay. All right. Well, great. We've gotten a couple questions that are coming in from our attendees here today. So let me just look at some of these and see. One of them, back to the idea of searching. So I go to Google, and I know, it's kind of funny, even amongst our development team here, we'll be looking for something, and we each kind of have our own terms or things, whether it's interface or integration or what word you use. One of the questions that came in, does specifying a version help? Is it important to include if you're looking for 7609 or 761 or something like that? Or there's some key tips that you can offer for searching specifically around that?
I definitely think adding the version is going to help you a lot. And then people say, do I write 7.6.0.9 or do I just write 7609, right? I always forget those dots. I would say, start with 7609, just put it in there, and that's going to help you. That's very, very specific, especially to a lot of the tech notes that you find on support. They are specific for versions. So again, the more specific you are, the better. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? So, okay, I go way back. I admit that. I have probably stored on my hard drive on my computer quite a few PDF files. The big admin guides. I know the finance manager guide in particular has put me to sleep on many an evening. But are any of those, is that PDF content still available? Because one of the things that was nice about that was the ability to have a single document that you could search through, kind of bookmark pages and things like that. Is it all online now, or any of those holdouts from prior days still around? They're still, excuse me. Sorry, they're still around. I guess I need more coffee. They're still around, but you'll probably find most of those on the community site. So I know, for example, there's a sub-community for integration and scripting. There's a lot of PDF documents up there. You'll find there's an app designer guide. So most of those PDFs are where you're going to find within the actual community in the library section of the community. Okay, very good. So we had a question come in if we'll share the URLs, and yeah, the slides that we had up just a couple minutes ago will be distributed after this to anybody that registered or attended. So we'll make sure that you get those URLs. One of the sources that we didn't talk about was YouTube. A lot of videos and things out there, and you're the star of quite a few of those shows. So what can I find on YouTube, and what's the best way to search for some of that content? Yeah, I love a video, right? Because even though the manuals are really nice, I typically don't have the patience to go through them. And I love a good screenshot. I want to see it in action. So, there's the Maximo IoT Support YouTube channel, which has a large repository of information. Also, some of the products have set up their own YouTube channel, so they have a little bit tighter control. So, for example, we just created a new Anywhere YouTube channel. You'll find most of the links for that if you searched. So if you did a Google search on Maximo Anywhere YouTube, you would see that playlist. Or again, within the various communities, the libraries, the blogs will refer to that YouTube content. Okay, great. And we'd love to, I was just going to say, we'd love to hear from people if they do like videos more. We're always interested to hear what people like better. Yeah, that would have been a really good poll, probably. So I guess within the chat window here, it's an option to answer if there's a particular style of content that you prefer over the others. I know the YouTube videos are very helpful to see something walked through, and and I this is kind of sick, but I always like the ones that are live demos, and there's always that little glitch of some sort or another. It kind of makes me feel like I'm not alone. We've all been in front of a client trying to show something, and it didn't quite go as planned. So that's right, reality. Those are kind of fun. Yeah.
We do have one. I'm not sure what the link is. We'll have to follow it, but it returns a 404 error. So, and we had a situation like that. I think it was the IBM demo site was down for a week or two not too long ago, the 761 preview site. So who do we contact in that situation to let people know? Are there support links within these communities and pages, or?
Yeah, you know, again, within the discussion forum, you can always send a question out, you know, whether you're at that top level Maximo community. And I should have mentioned that within Maximo, there's sub-communities, whether it's for mobile or integration, spatial and scheduler, everyone has their kind of sub-communities. So if there's something specific you're looking for and you can't find it, drop a note in the discussion forum there. You know, people contact anybody that they know in IBM, contact me. We'll make sure, you know, that you get the information you need. It's fine. You know, we're all here, you know, helping each other out. You know, that's what Maximo community is all about, helping each other.
Yeah, it is a great community. I definitely have realized that over the years. So another question that came in, where can I find integration lab exercise document to do hands-on? So are there hands-on opportunities and lab exercises still available?
Right, so that was another content that got moved. We used to have the Watson IoT Academy, and it moved over now to the IBM Skills Gateway, and there's a link in the presentation. And there's some excellent courses in there. Some of the courses are, you know, you read or you go through a PDF and you answer questions to get certified, but some of the courses do include hands-on lab exercises. So I know there was one that we did last year that had a VM image contained within it that had lab exercises. So it's really dependent on the content that you're looking for, if that's available or not.
Okay, very good. And the Skills Gateway still leads to badges and certifications, right?
Excellent. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. What about Seismic? That's a fairly new one. Is that what can we find out there?
So it took me forever to learn how to even spell that word and say that word. I was like, I'm sorry, I just couldn't get it. So it seems to be this very large repository. We post a lot of documents there, and then there's different security privileges, you know, who has access to what. I think there's more rules regarding Seismic. I think, you know, for more understanding the features and the functionality, I think you'll find that outside of Seismic. I think you'll find that in the Maximo community, in the support docs, and in the Knowledge Center.
Is Seismic more a place for like white papers and things like that, maybe, or marketing material?
I would say probably more marketing material. Okay. Yeah.
That's, I think the couple of times we've used it, it's been more along those lines.
Right. Right.
All right. What other tips and tricks do you have to share with us?
So one of the other things that I'd love to highlight that we started to talk about, Amy, is the Skills Gateway. I think it is such a underutilized resource for people, especially now if you have any time at all. You know, it's a great time to go out there and get a badge, go out there and get a certification. I was recently taking a course. I mean, Maximo is huge. There's always something to learn about it, no matter how long we've been working on it, right? There's always, you know, a refresher course, something. It's just such a great time right now to take a step back, take a course, build up your skills, and I just think that's really, really important right now.
Yes. So for the certifications, are there any new ones that are planned to be coming out with the 7611 version that you're aware of?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the latest on that. I know there was a big push to move all the content over the last couple months from Watson IoT Academy to the Skills Gateway. So I don't think a lot of new content was being produced. But, you know, maybe as we go throughout the rest of this year, you'll see some new features and some new content go out there.
Okay. Now, in the past, there were the red books, and a lot of people would use the red books to study from. So if somebody was going for the functional analyst, say, certification, what would be your recommendation for studying for that? Is it the Skills Gateway, or some other source?
Yeah, I would say the Skills Gateway, it's the best place. And, I'd also say reach out to the Maximo community, see what other people have done, say,
Right.
hey, I'm interested in going for this, certification or whatever. Anybody, can you recommend, what you've used, how you were able to, pass and receive that certification?
Yeah.
Again, people are always willing to help,
Yeah,
it's really.
they are. They definitely are. I know we've done, we did a big push internally to get all of our folks certified several years back now. And in the certification materials, it went through a full outline of all of the things that were on the test and the expectations and stuff. And even just getting into the system on the preview site and working through each of those modules and reading some of the help menus and just trying things out was a great source of understanding and doing it as a team. Even we were able to bounce ideas off of each other and kind of quiz each other and things like that. So getting back to that community, our community was inside our office, but there's a lot of similar communities that can be established, I think, just amongst the online groups and things like that. So
yeah. I recently went for my CRL certification, and that was the first thing I did. I reached out to other Maximo users that I know had their CRL, and I said, where do I start? How do I study? And immediately everyone responds, right? Because they want to help you, and so it's just the same thing. It's a really great community.
Okay, very good. One of the sources of information that came up is the Yahoo Group.
Oh,
and I know that recently had to go away. I don't know if there's anything that replaces that. That was kind of run by, I think, an individual, but there are several other sites out there that have similar ideas.
Yeah, the gentleman that started that, Wes Williams, I don't know if you remember his name, but he was a great guy. And it was his passion for years to make sure everything was answered. And it was an excellent community. And we all, within Maximo relied on that so heavily.
For sure.
Yeah, so again, over time, that content has just, migrated or, it's just not active anymore to these other locations that we have.
Yeah.
But we all miss that.
I know we do. What about the IBM Blue demos? Are those still around?
The Blue demos are still around. I'm not sure how the availability of them, but there definitely are the IBM Blue demos. Again, if you're looking for core functionality, Amy, you referenced it, the preview sites, those Maximo 7.6 preview sites are golden. It's just such a great way to go there, see something that is delivered out of the box and if that fits your use case or not.
Right.
So that's excellent. And just Google them. You'll find them real quickly.
Yeah, they are easy to find. There's a note here that says the IBM Blue demo would be moving to the Skills Gateway.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'm assuming that came from one of our IBMers on the call or something.
Thank you.
So, yeah. All right. So what other questions do you guys have in the audience there? I would let you chime in, except for all we've got is the chat. So feel free to post some more things there in the chat window. But I did get a chance to attend some of the Think sessions last week. That was an interesting format, and I actually liked the split timing to have part of it during the day and part of it in the evening, because I was able to watch some of the evening sessions without interfering with the workday. So that was kind of nice. They had some great content there. Did you get to go to any of those? Or
I didn't. Yeah. I have them all bookmarked for the recordings. Yeah. And again, that's just such a great thing of a webinar, right? You can attend it, you can watch it later when you have the time. And so I think that's just a beautiful way, and it's just a different way that we work now.
It is. It definitely is. So speaking of webinars, we do have some coming up. So we've got another couple of these coffee chats coming. Scheduler will cover. We're going to bring in Kim Woodbury here in another month or so to talk about the roadmap. So we're very excited to see what's on course for Maximo in the future. I'm sure there's new versions coming out here at some point in time. And then we'll do one on the work centers as well. So you've had a lot of involvement in the work centers over the years, and those have really changed and moved along quite a bit. over time.
Yeah, they're super exciting. We're really excited about everything within the mobile environment at Maximo, the work centers and anywhere and new features and functionality. So yeah, Kim is excellent. So you said in a couple weeks she'll be talking?
Yeah, I think we've got her on the books for towards the end of June, maybe the second June session.
Nice, Amy. Yeah. So I know she'll be able to share lots of great information with you.
She will. She will.
Excellent.
Would you say again where the Watson IoT courses ended up?
Oh, okay. So the IBM Skills Gateway.
Okay.
So
and I can just Google that, right?
Yep. Or if you just Googled Watson IoT Academy, there's a redirect in place and it'll take you to the new location.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. All right. Very good.
And Kim I see in chat said she's looking forward to sharing the roadmap with everyone. So yay, Kim.
All right. And Elaine, thank you for the link to the 7611 PDF documents. Those will be very helpful for those of us that are electronic hoarders here in the crowd.
Thanks, Elaine.
So, all right. Well, very good. Well, we're about running out of time. So I'm going to throw one more slide up here real quick just to reiterate a few things. And again, we'll send these out. So all of these links that are here in the slide content you guys will get. And upcoming things, there's the 2-day event featuring the 96 hours of content. I don't think I have 96 hours in 2 days. So what's that all about with the user group days?
Yeah, so there's a number of different groups within IBM that are all getting together within the next 2 days, or excuse me, the 2 days next week, the 19th and the 20th, to share all sorts of content. If you want to find more information about security, if you want more information about Cognos, but there's a whole track related to Maximo. It's on the second day. It's in track number 6. And we hope you guys register and attend. Some really great content being shared there.
Fantastic. All right. And then there's our coffee chat schedule. So May 27th, we'll cover scheduler. And then June 10th, we will be chatting with Kim on the roadmap. And of course, Starboard's out there. We're still, you can see I'm in the office. We are doing everything we can to support our clients and the IBM communities at large. And if you want to schedule a demo or anything like that, please just reach out to us and we'll be happy to make that happen. So Pam, thanks so much for joining us today and all of the great information. And you might end up regretting your statement to reach out anytime, because your email may be lighting up a little bit based on that. But it's always good to chat with you, and you've always been such a great resource to us at Starboard. So we really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Amy, and thank you so much for inviting me today. Really appreciate it.
So, Alex, are you back on the line?
I am. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. If there were any questions that you didn't get answered, please let us know. We'd be happy to follow up. We really appreciate what a great community, how much information sharing happened. And Amy, Pam, what a great discussion. Thank you so much. We really appreciated your time today.
All right. Well, we enjoy being here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye, everyone.